Hey everybody, Arnaldo Wolfman here with Master School Dances. And a lot of you know that my everyday system, I use my Yamaha 10, the DXR10s with the DXS12 subs. And Yamaha has now come up with a new line called the DBR. So the difference between the DBR and the DXR is that the DBR, they're not as, I guess, rugged is the way that you could call it. They step down on a couple different features, but you're still getting an amazing speaker. You're getting that signature Yamaha sound, but at a much, much lower price tag. So let's take a look at the DBRs. Let's see what some of the differences are, and then we'll talk about sound. Now the DBR uses a different type of plastic. The DXR, as you know, is also plastic as well, but this one's a little bit thinner. It's not as resistant as far as, you know, if you drop this thing's gonna dent. So you gotta baby them a little bit more. But I mean, honestly, it's just, you know, any kind of speaker you want to baby it. You just don't want to throw it around anyways. But the big difference, of course, as far as looks is the front. Just a little bit of a different curvature, different type of grill design. It's not all the way around. There's still a bezel, but it's still a clean, good-looking speaker. No funky shapes or anything like that. You have a handle on the top, and that's it. There are no side handles, just one in the front. There are 0 rigging points anywhere on the top sides. There's only 2 on the bottom if you want to hang it upside down. But again, a lot of those features were taken out to be able to give you a speaker that's at a much lower price point. Great for a beginner DJ, rental company, or just somebody that's on a budget. The overall speaker, though a lot of the features stay the same, you still have a great coverage of 90 by 60. So again, 90, 60. Great coverage all the way around. You're going to get a beautiful sound out of it. We'll go more on sound in just a moment. One of the big differences comes in with the wattage. I mean, the DXR10 is a very high-powered speaker. This guy, not so much. So for example, just to show you on the specs on this one, the continuous wattage of this one is 325 watts or 700 peak. But the 325 continuous, we have 260 going to the woofer and then 65 going to the highs. Now that may not sound a lot to you, but again, wattage means nothing. What's important to me is the specs, or the SPL, how, what actual output are we looking at. On peak, it's about 129 and it's measured. So I'm not saying, hey, you need to, go put a couple of these on a gymnasium and you're set to go. No. But if you're doing weddings or smaller events, or let's say for example, sound only events, these things are absolutely perfect. Now, on the back, we have a lot of the same features as the DXR and the DSR series. Let's take a look. So we still have the FurX tuning, we have the decontour. So let's first look at the top. Yeah, we've got your mic input, and of course you've got your knob, and you can do level as far as mic or line level. You got a second line level input here, or you can use RCA or XLR/1/4 inch, and of course the top one's also XLR 1/4 inch as well. They are neutral connectors too. On the output, we have the channel 1 through 2 or the mix. So again, you can just literally mix in where it's just channel 1 only that outputs here, or channel 1 and 2 mix. So for example, if I'm doing, let's say, a ceremony system, right? And for one reason or another, I only wanted to output the microphone only to the second one and have music going only out of this one. I'd have my music here and my microphone here. I would let go of this and the microphone only would output out of that into the next speaker. It's a pretty creative feature which, at some point or another would really come in handy. On the right hand side, of course, we've got a DSP with a decontour. Decontour here, we've got your front of house main option. You have off, or you can use it as a monitor, and it shows you a little graphical version of what each contour option is. And then you have your high power cut, or basically your bass cutoff here. So you can have it 0, 100 hertz, or 120. I mostly use it at 100 just because with some of the cocktail music that I play has a much lower bass notes on there, and it's not that it distorts or anything like that, but I get nicer sound when it's at 100. If I'm using subs, of course, I would keep it at 100 or 120 depending how it crossed over, and then for ceremonies I usually have it at 0. So when I first saw the DBR speakers, and then I saw the DXRs and the DSRs, and I own the other two as well, my main concern is if I go with a cheaper speaker, am I sacrificing sound quality? The answer is no. Now, there are little slight differences in terms of sound, especially at higher volumes, because the other two speakers can handle much more, you know, sound, or, you know, can output more sound, obviously. But for an everyday event, the sound out of this was absolutely incredible. We're talking really nice deep lows, especially for a 10. Again, deep lows, crisp highs, and really, really pronounced vocals. And as I turned up the volume, the vocals did not get lost. So we had that same tonal quality that the DSRs and the DXRs did that I really liked. And we're talking all this at an affordable price tag. And it's super lightweight. We're talking not even 25 pounds. It's like 23.2 pounds if you want it to be exact, right? And believe it or not, even when you get it, you know, all cranked up and everything in there, it sips power. On average, at let's say a 1/8 of the power consumption, meaning if you have it turned up for, like, let's say a cocktail hour or basic music or something like that, maybe dinner music, this thing is barely consuming 60 watts. So it sips power. And of course, that's in thanks to Yamaha's amazing engineering. But again, that is the Yamaha DBR series. This is the DBR10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You gotta check these out, especially the next DJ trade show. So check it out, go to your favorite music store, listen to them there. They're amazing. Thank you guys so much. Good night and God bless.